Welcome back to the show. The minority in Parliament is insisting that more than 16,000 youth whose names have been deleted from the Youth Employment Agency payroll for being ghosts are actually real workers. They describe the dismissal as illegal. At a news conference, the minority challenged the YEA Chief Executive Justin Kodia to publish the full list of dismissed workers for proper verification. On the line now is Deputy Chief Executive at the YEA, Bashiru Ibrahim. He's in charge of operations. Hello, sir. Thank you very much for your time here on the Pulse.
Good evening, my sister.
Okay, if you can speak up a little bit, you're here on the Pulse, and the names of the people who you claim are ghosts. I mean, that claim is actually being challenged by the minority in Parliament. What's your reaction or your response, sir?
Well, let me say good evening to yourself and your listeners. First of all, let me say that I have not had the opportunity of reading the press statement that was read today by the Deputy Minority Leader. Nonetheless, I'm sure if you have followed our press conference keenly, there is nowhere in our press statement that we declared anybody or a group of people as ghosts. What we sought to do was to put out the facts as they are, and we did exactly so. My sister, we decided as management that there was a need for us to check our payroll. What did we do? We embarked on two major activities. The first one was to commission the Internal Audit Agency to conduct an audit into the payroll and the activities of YEA. The Internal Audit Agency proceeded to do the audit in 50 districts and then also the 10 regional capitals. The findings of the Internal Audit Agency, my sister, are completely mind-boggling. The second thing was that we realized that 50 districts out of 216 districts would not be enough. Then we proceeded to do what we call fiscal validation. We put out all our officers out there in all the 216 districts to go there and do what is popularly known as head count.
Okay.
To find out whether or not people were working. Now, at the end of the exercise, the 2-week exercise, we had certain funding, and if you don't mind, I will share with you. Then that will answer exactly the question that the minority asked.
If you could make that brief, sir.
I'm saying that there are categories. After the exercise, we categorize it into about four thematic areas. There were people who were working without appointment letters and yet were receiving salary. There were people who were receiving salaries without appointment letters. There were people who actually did not even surface. They did not appear at all for the head count. And I'm sure the minority probably are referring to those people as ghosts. If you listen to the CEO, he was very emphatic, very clear that after the exercise, for those who did not appear at all, yes, you could qualify them as ghosts or non-existent beneficiaries. We did not, and let me emphasize the word, we did not proceed to delete their names. What we did was that we announced that we're giving ourselves 1 month, 30 days, within which we expect those people to appear with their document to prove that they are beneficiaries and that they were working. If after 1 month we don't get that correspondence from them, we will proceed to delete their names. And at that point, we cannot describe them as ghosts.
Okay.
But as we speak now, our sister, there are people who have traveled far away from Kumasi, from Volta region, from Eastern region to our headquarters to show us documentation that look, during the exercise, for one reason or the other, we could not turn up for the exercise. And we have indeed proceeded. Now we are thinking that coming to the headquarters will make the beneficiaries suffer. So we have the officers who are at every single district and every constituency. We've delegated that to them. That look, if you could not turn up for the exercise, just talk to our M&E officers, show your appointment letter, show your confirmation letter, show assumption of duty letter, and let them go to the facility to verify that you are working. And we'll validate you and proceed to pay you. I don't know where they are getting that figure from. I understand they said 16,000 ghost names.
16,000, yes.
16,000 ghost names. I don't know where the minority got those figures from.
Is that figure accurate or not?
No, first of all, I don't know what they describe as ghosts, because in our first statement, the CEO, which Justice Reform, never ever mentioned that 15,000 ghosts.
Let's just say unaccounted for, names that you could not, or as far as you believe, could not be accounted for in your system. So
exactly,
they are non-existent names. 16,000, is that accurate or not?
No, but you see, I don't even see the point of arguing here. I have just told you that those people that we cannot account for, we do not delete anybody's name. We have given ourselves 1 month, and the assumption was that an extent.
All right.
There are people who genuinely could not even turn us for the exam. Why? If that day I was sick and I was admitted in a hospital, certainly I couldn't have turned out for the exercise.
So what's the deadline for the 1 month period that you've given?
We give ourselves up to the end of this month.
Up to the end of this month. So,
yes,
so you think that the minority members are jumping the gun?
They have jumped the gun already, and I don't know where they are going. And if they are not careful, they will rather land somewhere. Because the truth of the matter is that we only classify them as non-existent beneficiaries, and we have given ourselves a time period for people to come and validate.
They're asking you to also publish the names. Are you willing to do that after your 1 month period?
Which names are they asking us to publish? Because they are claiming that we have deleted 15,000 ghost names. Is that not the case? And I'm saying that we have not deleted 15,000 names purported to be ghost names. So which names are they asking for? My sister, I need to be clear. Which names are you talking of? Because there's nowhere in our statement and also on documents that we have deleted 15,000 ghost names. So maybe they should publish the ghost names that they know we have deleted.
Hold on for me, Mr. Bashiru. I have on the line now Dr. Kwabena Donkor, who is the ranking member on the Committee of Employment in Parliament on the line. Sir, thank you very much for your time here on the Pulse.
Thank you.
You've raised this number, 16,000 ghost names. The Youth Employment Agency officials at this point do not know where you got that number from. They believe that none of the names or the people that they mentioned have been removed. None of the names have been removed. In fact, they've given them a month to, verify their names and to justify their inclusion, so to speak. Where are you getting the 16,000 from?
I'm sure you were well in this country when the public relations officer came out in a press briefing to say they have saved so many millions of CDs because they've been able to detect and remove ghost names. So we are taking it from that position.
Did they give you that figure, 16,000?
Well, they claim that was the figure.
Okay. Are you also aware that the Youth Employment Agency is still asking people to go to their offices, their various agencies, to verify their names on their payroll?
All we have said and continue to say is that they should play by the rules. They should play by the rules. I mean, if there are actual groups, if they are not in the box or in the cemetery, they are on payroll, they should definitely be removed. But there is a process. You see, Youth Employment Agency is an act established by, it's a body corporate established by an act of parliament. And therefore, you can't come in and out of a staff of 700, say within 11 days, you are transferring 400 across the country. It's part of kangaroo tactics.
The number you put to the people, do you actually know the faces or the people to the number that you put up?
In terms of the 700 or the 400?
The 16,000, do you know them?
The 16,000?
Yes, sir.
All we are, of course, I sitting here, I wouldn't know all the 16,000. We know people who have been asked that the people who are not being paid. Yes, people say they are ghosts. And remember, we did not initiate it. Remember, it is the the Youth Employment Agency, through their public relations officer, who initiated this, that they have found ghosting.
But whether you initiated it or not, you have to verify and be sure that the figure you're putting out is accurate.
There is nothing inaccurate about what we are putting out.
Okay, well, since you mentioned that, I have Ibrahim Bashir, who is in charge of operations with the Youth Employment Agency. Sir, you are challenging the figure that the minority put out there. But here is the ranking member of parliament on employment. And he is also challenging what you're saying. He says that you, the agency, initiated what you're calling now the ghost names, and you actually put the figure out there.
I think I respect the ranking member, and but my point of departure is that, first of all, he said 15,000. He's unable to tell you where he got the figure from, because there is nowhere in our press statement that we indicated that 15,000 ghost names have been deleted from our payroll. And I want to state this clearly, unambiguously, that there's no way. Okay. If the honorable member and the minority, if they are holding a document containing 15,000 names of people we have deleted, I think the honorable thing to do is to present to YEA for us to verify. Okay. But I'm putting it to him that we never said anywhere that we have deleted. And let me repeat myself. What we said was that there were people who could not turn out for the exercise. We classified them as non-existent beneficiaries. We never said they are ghosts. Okay. And that is why we gave ourselves 1 month for them to come and validate their status. That is precisely what we did. Now, the honorable member moved away from the 15,000 when you challenged him, and then he proceeded to talk of transfers. And I am a bit sad that anyone would think that a public institution, transfers that are completely administrative, there's something wrong with it. I am amazed. I'm completely amazed.
I see.
Recently, you heard the IGP has done some transfers. Every public institution.
So your point basically is that it's normal.
No, but it is administrative.
Fair enough. Let's not, Mr. Bashiri, let's not belabor the point. Dr. Kobna-Donkor, you've heard what he's saying. The point he's made also is that there's time. They've given the people time to validate their names on the payroll. You're jumping the gun, they say.
My dear, who introduced the word ghost into all this discussion?
Yeah, sir, just not to go into the semantics, sir, but then they've given them a month to correct this on the payroll. Is that, are you not jumping the gun, the minority?
Excuse me, dear, am I allowed to speak?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Yes. If you classify people as ghosts, what do you mean? If they are revising what they said earlier, they will be happy to accept that.
Okay, sir, but my question, yes, sir, you have the chance to talk, but my question at the moment, sir, which I think it's fair for you to address, is whether or not you are aware that they've given them a period of time to be able to go to their offices and validate this information.
Look,
are you aware?
I am aware that in the YEA procedures, there's a monitoring team, and that this monitoring team from time to time goes around to verify the number of people who are at post. This is a continuous process, and it's inbuilt into YEA.
Okay.
So we don't have a problem with that. And indeed, one of the audits, they found a certain number of people not at post for various reasons. So we don't have a problem with this. If you find this, you go further. But if you declare such people ghosts, it means they are non-existent.
All right. Well,
you declare them ghosts and ask them to come and prove that they're human beings.
Okay. Thank you very much.
In terms of the transfer, I heard him talking about the transfer.
If you can make it very brief for me, sir, because we run out of time.
In their own rules and regulations, you're given a month or 3 months notice when you are being transferred. You don't ask 400 people to move from Volta region to Upper East, from Ashanti to Upper West in 11 days.
So you think even if it's a transfer, that it is not done properly?
They didn't even call the transfer. They said movement.
Okay.
That was what they pasted on their notice.
Okay. Sir, unfortunately, this is all.
700 staff.
Unfortunately, this is all time could allow us at the moment. But thank you very much for your contributions. So we'll take this matter further up further in our subsequent bulletins. Thank you very much for your contribution. Dr. Kwabena Donkor is the ranking member of Parliament on employment. I was also joined by Ibrahim Bashiru, who is in charge of operations at the Youth Employment Agency, talking about some issues or some concerns that's been raised by the minority about some 16,000 names which they say have been expunged from the payroll. You're still watching The Pulse. Time for sports on The Pulse. We'll take a very quick break and they will be ready with sports right after this.